Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Esquire Coaching Radio, where we help attorneys achieve unparalleled personal and professional success. And now here's your host, Ann Jenrette Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Esquire Coaching Radio. I don't know if you're in the Northeast, but we are getting pummeled with snow here. Anyway, it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you today. As you know, Esquire Coaching is a national coaching and consulting firm that is dedicated to helping attorneys achieve extraordinary whole life success. To that end, we discuss the full range of topics from business building to getting a job to work-life balance and everything in between. Today, we have a very special guest who's going to talk to us about the top 5 strategies to build your online legal practice. In an increasingly competitive marketplace, professionals and business owners must find new ways to stay top of mind with prospects and clients. During today's interview, Claudia Hernandez, President of Innovate, an online marketing group, will explore 5 key strategies to help attorneys leverage technology, understand new trends in online marketing, and build a successful practice. Claudia, she's a good friend of mine, and she's the President of Innovate, an online marketing group that's based in New York City. The Innovate Group offers professionals and small business web-based solutions for creating a powerful online presence. Claudia is savvy about best practices, leveraging technology and online marketing strategies to help businesses make more money online. Her client successes include increases in leads, sales, and greater visibility in their industry. Claudia supports small law firms through her engagement with the Law Firm Committee in New York City's Bar Association. And in 2013, she presented at the New York City Bar Association's Small Law Firm Symposium. Welcome, Claudia.
Hi, Anne. I am so excited to be here. Hello. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I think this is a really important topic. And one thing that I read, as I was introducing you was the word technology, and that is something so many lawyers are afraid of. So I'm really glad that you're here to help our listeners walk through this. So before I dive into the questions, I just want to remind our callers that there will be time at the end of this interview to ask Claudia any questions you might have directly. Just call 347-838-8719 and press 1 to get in the queue. I'll repeat that number later on. All right, so Claudia, let's dive right in. What do law firms need to know to stay ahead of the game in 2014?
Well, I feel that law firms, like any small business, need to have an integrated approach to getting their message out to their target audience. And I know, Anne, that when it comes to using the term marketing, a lot of law firms and attorneys don't feel very comfortable. What I'd like to do is I'd just like to clarify that marketing and advertising are 2 different things. Marketing is really about getting your message out, and as far as what you need to know to stay ahead of the game in 2014, it means using an integrated approach that combines both online and offline efforts, all with the goal of giving yourself the necessary exposure to build your business. So I just want to clarify that you can't put all your eggs simply on your website. You definitely need to be doing some offline to drive business to your online.
That makes so much sense. And in fact, I think I love that you talk about an integrated approach. I think a lot of people sometimes think, okay, my website's up, where are the clients,
Yes,
and it's a lot more than that.
Absolutely. But in speaking about my website is up, there are a few things that I think are really, really important for us to consider in 2014 as far as just what's happening, what are the trends, what's changing, what do I need to know? Because technology changes by the second. Believe it or not, it changes by the second, and we do have to make sure that we are creating the proper benchmarks and that we're really looking at our numbers and we're tracking what's happening. And it's something that a lot of businesses just haven't gotten there yet. But I can't stress enough the importance of tracking numbers. As far as a website is concerned, one of the very, very important things that one must consider nowadays is to have a responsive website. So what exactly does that mean? It means creating a website that will simply allow you to view your site across different platforms. So 2 years ago, we weren't able to have the same type of responsive design that we have today. So what are the advantages? The advantages are if you are looking to work with someone and you know that you want to have a responsive design. In other words, you want people to find you using their mobile device. They should be able to say to you, the solution is a responsive design, because you don't have to worry about spending an extra X number of dollars to create a mobile version of your site. A responsive design will take care of your website being seen on a desktop, your website being seen on an iPad, and your website being seen on your iPhone.
And think about it, almost everybody nowadays is looking on a website or using their phone, whether it's an iPhone or a Droid, or I don't think BlackBerry does it, but they're looking across their mobile device basically to research everything, and that could include viewing somebody's website.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Now, I have to tell you, nearly 80% of U.S.-based Internet users search for services online using a mobile device.
So I didn't know that.
So that speaks to you to how many people are actually using their mobile device more when it comes to searching for service providers versus getting on their laptop and computer and doing it.
So that's all the more reason why your website really needs to be, visible in a good way on your mobile device.
Right, and it just ensures that when you have that approach, that you're not losing potential clients and you're not losing cases during a critical moment because you just don't have the ability to access whatever it is that you need to access from a tablet or a smartphone. And aside from that, it just really gives an optimal viewing experience to the user, and that's the most important thing. You want to make sure that your website, outside of being responsive, is also providing a good, solid experience to your users, and that it's easy to navigate.
Love it. So in your expert opinion, what are the top 5 strategies to help build an online legal practice?
Well, the top 5 strategies, I would say, and we already talked about a couple of them. I'm going to say that definitely having a responsive site with good content is really, really critical for success. Now, what do I mean by content? I mean, nowadays, people's attention span is very, very limited, very short. And so content isn't viewed anymore as it used to be viewed of, okay, if I have a good couple of articles to share with my audience, then I'm going to make sure that I put that content and everything about that particular topic online. No, nowadays, when we're talking about content and effective content, we're talking about creating compelling, rich content that includes images. Images are content. Video is content. Audio is content. And that really attracts customers and keeps them coming back. And so you want to keep your content fresh, and you want to make sure that you speak in bullets, because most of the time when people are looking at websites, they're not just looking at one site. They're actually looking at multiple sites and they're scanning. So you want to make sure that you can give people information in a way that's quick and digestible for them so that they get exactly what they need and then they can move on and hopefully contact you.
I love it. So that's one great top strategy, responsive website with good content. And I love how you really made it clear that images, video, and audio are also content. And one thing, Claudia, thank goodness you said it, as lawyers, we tend to be verbose. We tend to really, write in long form. And so I think when it comes to what's available on the website, we have to recognize it's a different skill set. Bullets, keeping it short, simple, it's really important. So what's the next top five what's the next top strategy that you want to talk about?
Well, we started to talk about it already. The other strategy is mobile, and and just along the lines of mobile, I want to sort of pair this one with a third strategy, which is Google local search. Now, why am I going to talk about this? I'm going to talk about this, and we can talk about this later as well, is because it's an excellent opportunity for users to find a service provider in their local area, and it's a great opportunity for businesses to establish themselves online locally. So, in other words, when it comes to things such as Google search, everybody really immediately just wants to be at the top of the rankings, and they're like, I'm going to hire someone to get me to be number one in the Google directory. Now, Google is a directory much like any other directory that's out there, Yahoo, Bing, etc. However, we forget that we're also serving a local community. And so if you can get yourself on Google local search, and it's very easy to do that, then you are opening yourself to a host of potential clients that you would not have imagined would be looking for someone that provides your services in your general area. So that's actually really, really important. And I have to say that I have a statistic here that I want to share, which is that Google Places Stats, in fact, says that 20% of searches on Google are related to location. And 56% of mobile phone users use their browser for local searches.
Oh,
so that raises the importance still further for small and local businesses to establish themselves online.
Which is really key for solos and the small firms, because we are barred in a particular state. It's not like we have the luxury to practice in multiple states, unless you're barred, of course. And I think using Google local search is a really key strategy.
Right. Yes. And the nice thing about it is it's easy. It's just that a lot of folks really, we often think that when it comes to getting our message out and initiating some marketing efforts for our business, that we have to attach dollars to every single marketing activity, and that's just simply not true. If you're starting your business or if you're growing your business, submitting your site to Google Local enables you to show for local queries. You appear on Google Maps for searches and other relevant general queries because of the way that Google has set up that particular channel. So local is definitely where it's at, and I strongly recommend that every business looks to see if they have a presence on local search, and if not, to get on there ASAP.
That's brilliant. And I also, one thing I just want to reiterate is that there is, just because you are listed under Google Local, it does not exclude you from a national search, right? So what about the third strategy? What would you say is your next top strategy?
I think the next top strategy for businesses and also attorneys is social engagement. And social engagement via a social media channel that makes sense for your business. And for professionals, I often recommend LinkedIn, and I also recommend video marketing. Now, LinkedIn is an excellent channel, and I highly, highly recommend that businesses just really look to the potential that this channel can give you to make connections, to establish leads, and to really build a professional presence for your business, plus use that through your website.
You know, I was just listening to an interview by Gary Vaynerchuk, who was interviewed by Success Magazine, and he talks about how with social engagement, it's really important to give value before you ask for business. So I just want to, you know, place that seed inside of our listeners' mind.
Yes, that's true. And I know a lot of businesses shy away from social engagement via the internet because it's a commitment and because they're not 100% sure how comfortable they feel sharing consistently or sharing certain types of information or information that could be perceived as maybe too private or information that they may just not know if it's appropriate. And I totally get that, and I think, you know, it's good to sort of start off like that, but I think that there are opportunities. So being socially engaged does not necessarily mean that every business needs to have a Facebook page. It does not necessarily mean that every business needs to utilize Twitter. It just means that you need to connect with your community via a social channel that makes sense for you. And I can't emphasize how important it is to really reach out and educate your community consistently. Most of the folks that I work with, I let them know that, you know, your website is not necessarily just a place where people come and they look for information, but it's a place where they come to engage with you and your business on an ongoing basis. And so really our responsibilities as business owners are to create a presence in our communities and to impact our communities. And these social channels give us that opportunity to engage, and we can control it. So really the goal is for at some point, you know, when you're ready, and not everybody's ready, and that's totally fine, is to be that go-to person on a particular topic or theme, and to be the authority that that people are looking for as far as you know, a person that has the knowledge and the expertise that they want to work with, or that they just simply want to follow.
Now, tell me your opinion on this. Do you think, because I heard you say, you know, you have to find a social media channel that works for you, but does it also make sense to make sure that that social media channel works for your ideal client base?
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, so here are a couple of things to consider when evaluating social media, and to consider whether it's going to fit in with your current marketing strategy or your current marketing outreach. So you need to leverage, you need to consider a few things. One of them is definitely leverage thought leadership and position yourself as a forward-thinking company, firm, business owner that has thoughts and ideas of relevance to offer. And as far as your audience is concerned, are you talking specifically about, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Most professionals that are really busy professionals and do not have time, they will probably want to use LinkedIn as their primary social media channel, simply because it gives them a couple of opportunities at once to accomplish a couple of goals. And one is to connect with the person they want to connect with in a professional way without having to commit to an ongoing dialogue, and also to have access to an extended network. And so most people, most professionals that I know have a very good comfort level with LinkedIn. Okay, so when evaluating social media, another thing that you may want to consider is, you know, are you able to create those conversations that are going to keep your audience engaged? And if it's something that you plan to do for the future, just do it with a strategy. Because all these things are possible. It's just that you just need to do them when your business is ready for them. And essentially the goal is to have people continue to come back to visit you, even if you have a client and the client is someone that, okay, you know, you've finished your job with this client, but you impacted this person in a certain way, or they really liked you, or they really liked how you work. Believe it or not, they're going to come back probably to your website to see what's new with this person. What are they doing? How are they, how are they sending out information? Are they doing speaking engagements? Are they involved in workshops? Did they create a recent blog post, et cetera, et cetera?
You know, and I think part of the reason why I had asked that question also is I was thinking about, for example, a trust and estates practice. Maybe, the population that they're targeting, their ideal clients are seniors. Maybe they're no longer in the workforce. So seniors and people who are no longer in the workforce may not be as active on LinkedIn, but studies and statistics show that they are a growing population on Facebook, for example. So when you were talking about strategy, that's part of what I was thinking, that, you know, as you're thinking about your social media presence, don't just go to what you're comfortable with, but make sure that where you're engaging is someplace where your audience will be engaging, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I agree, and that I think really just goes back to really knowing who your target audience is, who your ideal client is, and just where, you know, what these folks want to know and learn. Oftentimes when I work with attorneys, I often give them recommendations for creating an FAQ section to your website, which helps people really understand, you know, are we a good fit? Can I help you? Can I really answer your questions, or can I help you to think about some of the important questions that you may need to ask before we work forward or continue? And also resources, because a lot of these folks, and you know, your example is a good example, a lot of these folks at a certain age, they're looking for resources, and they're looking for information that will continue to support them as they grow older, and they'll want to know about their rights, they'll want to know about benefits, and who would be a better person to inform them than a lawyer partner.
I love it. I think that's great. I just want to remind our audience, because we're almost out of time, if you have a question for Claudia, call 347-838-8719 and press 1 to get in the queue. That's 347-838-8719 and press 1 to get in the queue. Now, I know there's so much rich content here. What's the fourth top strategy that to build an online presence?
Okay, so there is actually one very important one that I want to talk about, and one where there's a real opportunity and one that very few people know about, and that is top-level domains. Now, a top-level domain is the last segment of a domain name. So those are the letters immediately following the dot in an internet address, such as .com, .org, .edu, right? So this extension identifies something about the website associated with it, such as its purpose, the organization that owns it or the geographical area where it originates. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there's a great opportunity here for businesses and attorneys, because the organization that handles this sort of generation of these extensions and these domain names, which is ICANN, ICANN, has opened the door, and this has been coming since 2012, but it's opened the door to a whole new set of extensions will be able to be used by businesses that will help them to be found much quicker and associate them with a particular business. So, for instance, for the attorney, there's a new extension that's going to be .attorney, ATTORNEY. And this domain, it's going to be attractive to website owners with connections to lawyers, the legal profession in general. And so what are the advantages? The advantages are that we no longer have to depend on the .coms. And the .coms are very competitive. In other words, if someone, say, such as yourself and Thomas, you at this point in your life decide that you want to create a .com for your business, but it's already been taken, then what happens? And you have to basically turn yourself inside out and figure out how you're going to call your business and hope that domain name is available. However, the option and the beauty of these top-level domains now that are starting to open up and will soon be able to register new domain names under them is that we will have the opportunity to use these for our businesses. They're more specific, they're more branded, and they're just going to be really, really good for organizations, businesses, companies to be able to have, more of a competitive edge as far as your business name online is concerned and what your domain name is.
That's so great. And what a relief, I mean, I think a lot of people, especially the new solos and the small firm partners that are just starting out in this day and age, it's tough to try and get your ideal URL.
Your ideal domain name. Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct. And the nice thing about it, and the nice thing about it is that it's cost effective because you would be registering your business name with the extension as you would register any other domain name for a minimal fee, depending which hosting company you work with, and that's it. And you could register it over an extended period of time, and that gives you a little bit more of an edge. And having a domain name such as AnnThomas.attorney will really go a long way for helping you.
So this is great. Now, because we're almost out of time, and I want everybody to know how they can reach you. But tell us, what's the last top strategy that you have for online, visibility?
Well, for online visibility, the last thing that I didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about a little bit, and this would be for folks that already have an online a website, because certainly it makes it stronger, and that would be doing some video marketing. And video marketing is really, really important. It's become important simply because Google is now giving more visibility to videos in its search results. So you can definitely, if you can't be found via your content, if you have a good video on your website, you can be found via Google, via your website, and also via YouTube, which people are using at a much higher percentage now versus the regular search engine to look for content.
Wow, that is brilliant. I think we're going to have to bring you back just to talk about that alone.
Yes. And the last thing that I just want to share with folks out there is that when you're looking to get out there, and when you're looking to build your online marketing, your online presence, look for a partner. look for someone that really knows you, that really gets you, and that really understands and can provide you with some resources to save some time, to save some money, and to help you reach and achieve those goals that are going to make you successful online. A partner goes a much longer way than working with 5 or 6 different vendors that just really do not have the same connection with your business.
Right. So tell our audience how they can reach you.
Yeah, so for the folks out in the audience, I'd like to offer something very special, and that is that I'm willing to offer a 20-minute mini site assessment and or a 20-minute strategy session with you where we can talk about some of the business goals that you have and some of the strategies that may work for you. So what you would simply need to do is just email me directly at Claudia, Claudia, at Innovate Online Marketing, and I will spell that out, INNOVATE, onlinemarketing.com, and simply write in the subject line esquirecoaching.com, and I'll know that you came through esquirecoaching.com or Esquire Blog Radio, and we can set up some time and talk about how to make you very successful.
Oh, thank you so much, Claudia. You've been a great guest. 5 excellent strategies to help our lawyers build their online presence and, just take them step by step, and definitely reach out to Claudia. Let's keep this conversation going. Join us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and tell us what you thought. Tell us what your top online strategies are. And next week, we will have Jennifer Robinson talk to us about networking. I want to thank you again, Claudia, and thanks, listeners. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Anne.
Bye.
Bye.